want to be in it.
Let's see.
I'm trying.
Christopher, Matthew, hello, welcome. We'll wait for a few more folks to roll in here before we get going in the drawing. You can say hi, little buddy.
Hi.
Just don't make a bunch of ruckus. Brian Philbrook, Ellen, Tanya, Harshman Hills, hello all, welcome. Brian, I got to virtually meet your wife. Ashley left a comment a few nights ago. It was nice. Well, not that it was nice, but it was cool to see another Philbrook getting on there. They're saying, Brian says, hey, little buddy.
Hi, Brian.
Could you let us know how the signal is? Is the video and audio coming out okay? We're streaming on 3G, so I'm a little skeptical on the quality. Just give us a little feedback on that.
I'm guessing it's not good.
Well, there's a little delay.
Oh,
There's about a 30-second delay, I think, from...
that's good. All right.
All right, we're good in the UK, too. Thanks, Gavin.
Wow, the UK.
What time is it over there, Gavin?
It's late. 11 o'clock.
Good, can see and hear you perfect. Thank you, Candace. All right, well, I guess we'll get started. We have, I don't know how many are here. 33, okay. Okay, Joy's saying it's good, but there's some blibs here and there, so I'm guessing we're a little glitch in the matrix there, I guess. As long as we don't move too much, it'll be fine. Okay. It is nearly 11 o'clock in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Ready?
So we have
a very scientific method.
We have a bowl here, and in it are the names of our Patreon supporters. And our giveaway is the Farmstead Meatsmith gift package. It's a copy of the two-volume Butcher Salt. So it's a physical copy, and in it are all of Brandon Sheard's precepts on all things meatsmithery, as far as all the gear you need for butchering, cutlery, how to actually do the harvesting. There's a lot of information. Soap making. There's a lot of stuff going on in there, and then also a copy of a knife sharpening DVD by Murray Carter. What else is in there?
Isn't Murray like a knife sharpening ninja? Were you telling me that? 14th generation.
Yeah, he's
ninja?
17th generation, but the way that works is it's not like his father and his grandfather, and so back 17 generations through the family. It's you are selected by a master in a line. He was, I think, the first American to have gotten this title of this master bladesmith recognition out of Japan. It's always been someone from Japan, but he lived in Japan for, I guess, a couple decades as an apprentice in this program, and became a master. So Carter Cutlery's DVD, also Brandon Sheard's To Kill a Pig Nicely DVD, where you can see in almost real time, there's hardly any edits or cuts to it, of Brandon going through a pig harvest. And this was filmed a few years back. So it is available. All this stuff is available, I think, for purchase. Well, I think the Butcher Salt you can't get anymore unless you're a member of the program, but I think some of the other stuff is available for purchase if you are interested in getting that from Brandon's site, which is farmsteadmeatsmith.com. But we're giving it away free to one of our Patreon supporters here. So
Thank you all so much for supporting us.
Yes, it was really awesome to get support from the community when we put this out. I don't really push our Patreon program very much, and that's my fault. I mean, I guess I could make more announcements about it.
Tell your
probably
friends.
drum
Sign
up
up
more
this
support,
season.
but I don't spend a lot of energy trying to do that sort of thing. But we
So
had
this is a
this
great marketing effort.
we had this stuff to give away, and I thought this was a really good way to
Okay, that's fine. Let's
do the
set it up.
giveaway.
Come. Oh, butterbean.
So sorry for the shaking here. We're bumping the table. Let's see. Zach wants to know, does Penny spit on you folks?
Well, she definitely does not spit on us. Because
Zach, I
she
guess
is
you missed the
dead.
video. She passed away a few weeks back.
Oh, but she
quite-
didn't. She was so nice.
She was
the
very
nicest
nice. She
mom ever.
never showed any kind of aggression or
She was beautiful.
disgruntledness
She really
to
did.
us or the animals. I mean, she was fantastic.
I'm sad that
Animal.
Penny died.
Yes. Meridian, Idaho is in the house. 338 MRAD down South Idaho.
Well, let's do the drawing. So we're going to draw one name amongst our Patreon supporters.
Paul Wheaton. Paul Wheaton's in the
Paul.
house.
Oh,
Paul
wow.
Paul supports us on Patreon. Yes,
Thank you,
Paul.
Paul.
Paul is one of our first Patreon backers.
Maybe the first, right?
I don't think he was the first.
Oh.
My friend Charlie, I think, was from IoTFoundry.com. He was the guy that designed the automated Chickshaw door. He backed us on Patreon right from the beginning, and then Paul Wheaton jumped on there. So thank you, Paul.
Thanks for setting a trend, Paul. All right, so we're going to draw one name for this awesome goodie bag from the Farmstead Meatsmith. Like we said, highly scientific. We put the names in a bowl.
And
It's a little more fun than using the random number generator in Excel.
yeah, we did that once before.
Yeah.
All right, little buddy.
Can't pick one?
Since you don't know who any of the names really are, it doesn't matter even if you
Because you
can
can't
see
read
them, but well, you can read some things.
Read his own name.
Is that the one?
Yeah.
Hopefully this person is here so they can get the excitement of getting their name announced here. So the winner of the Meatsmith giveaway package is
Drum roll.
Thomas G. Thomas G, are you here, Thomas? Of course, we have his full last name, but we just didn't want to put it out there in case you wanted.
I wish we had something
Privacy.
fun to say about Thomas. Thomas, thank you. You're generous. Thank you.
Zach said, I hope Paul Wheaton wins. Sorry, Zach. Paul did not win.
Paul did show
So
up, though.
hopefully Thomas either shows up or we'll hear from him and we can figure out a way to get him this
Ellen
awesome prize.
Bloomfield, Ellen, another supporter. Thanks for support.
Yeah,
Ellen. We
Ellen's
appreciate your
awesome.
support.
She's a Patreon supporter.
Uh-huh.
She watches a lot of our videos, if not all. I don't know, but she comments frequently, and she is a Meatsmith membership.
Oh, that's cool.
Or member of the Meatsmith program as well. So we connect there on Facebook in that group. How are my hands? Brian wants to know. So for you guys that don't know, I have been suffering from a wicked bout of poison ivy on my hands. And our friends Josh and Kim from Essential Mountain Homesteading helped us out with essential oils. I guess what was that, about 2 weeks ago?
Mhm.
They came over.
Yeah.
And I had some.
Mataruka.
Tea tree oil.
Paul says, I'm glad I showed up to not win. Sorry, Paul. But Paul, you'll be pleased to know I was working hard on our DVD project today. So we're making progress on that end. So it was a combination of different oils, Melaleuca, frankincense,
And lavender.
and lavender. And that was in fractionated coconut oil. And what that did is it actually helped heal. Actually, let me rewind a second. So it started out, I had the blisters and everything kind of between these fingers right here. The blisters turned into their oozing thing, and then they kind of dried up and the skin sloughed off. And then I got another layer of poison ivy formed on top of the oh, it's a secret. Paul was saying about the, sorry. Well, I didn't say what the DVD project was, but yeah. Anyway, so on top of my raw skin, I got another round of poison ivy on it, which really, really tore it up. So anyway, I was putting the essential oils on that, and that went a long way to redeveloping a layer of skin on my finger. It didn't really help clear up poison ivy though, the way I was hoping it would, but it did fix the damaged skin. So actually it was Wednesday, so 4 days ago, whatever it was, 5 days ago.
Maybe.
I got jewelweed. I received
way to pronounce.
Yes.
Jewelweed.
I got a few comments from viewers under our poison ivy video that were saying jewelweed is really the way to go, and I looked it up, and apparently it's this plant that grows along with poison ivy, and it's nature's remedy to poison ivy. So online on Amazon, you can look up jewelweed products, and there are people that take jewelweed and infuse it in olive oil and then make soaps or lotions and salves. So I just bought all of it, and I've been using it, and it has been a dramatic improvement. I mean, my hands, just on the inside, I had all these raised blisters on the palms of my hands on both of them. It was just horrible. When I'd wash my hands, it felt like there were BBs all impregnated under my skin. Like that was the texture of rubbing my hands together, washing. It was just horrible. And in a day and a half, I went from that to all of the blisters on my hand completely recessed. They're gone. I mean, they're still like, I'm still going to get this dead skin thing going on here, I bet, from where all the blisters were. But man, it's dramatic improvement. I really, I really recommend the jewelweed.
Thank you so much for asking. It looks much better.
And I'm sad since I don't get to touch my father's hands.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't want to spread it.
Any chance Thomas has joined? Thomas G?
I haven't seen Thomas.
Thomas,
No.
you're not in the house.
And Marie is joining us from France. And I don't believe I've seen Marie since our last live chat, or at least a comment from her.
Before
so.
we had snow.
But
It's even
she
later
says,
for her. It's almost midnight.
I want you
Oh, I think
what is she saying?
So
Her English.
I think that she wants you to talk a little bit more about your secret DVD project with Paul.
Oh, well.
The secret.
She's saying nope. Oh. She's been busy. Yeah. Paul saying thanks for making his YouTube channel come back to life. Paul Wheaton, as you guys know, he was a pioneer on YouTube, especially in the homesteading permaculture movement. He has content from at least 7 years ago, maybe more. And for a long time, he was putting out a lot of stuff. And then I think about 2 or 3 years ago, he stopped for a long time. And if you don't keep putting out a lot of stuff on YouTube, your channel, of course, kind of suffers. And anyway, so Paul has about 1 million things going on that he's doing, and he just needed to outsource some video editing so he could get some stuff going on his channel again, because he has a Patreon community that's really wanting him to put out more content. So Paul has hired me to do some editing for his YouTube channel, and gosh, in the last couple, they're dripping out slowly, so they're not all out yet. But if you look on Paul's channel, the last 25-ish videos, something like that, and a lot to come, are ones that I edited. So a lot of the content, some of the content I filmed when I was at the Rocket Mass Heater Jamboree. Some of it's stuff that Paul has sent me that I have edited that other people have filmed. But yeah, it's been really fun working on these projects, and I feel that I am learning so much more about Rocket Mass Heater technology, doing a lot of those types of video editing.
So we planning on getting one when I grow up to keep my house warm and during the winter.
That's very smart, Irving.
Yes. And Al Lumna from Lumna Acres is here.
Hi,
Al
Al.
saying hi. Welcome, Al. It's East Coast for Al, so 6 p.m. there.
Dinner time.
David says, you guys are an awesome YouTube team. Good job and keep it up. Thanks, David. David is, I wouldn't say nearby. He's a good drive from us, but he is he has the traditional Catholic homestead blog, and they have a few videos on
like
YouTube.
What, 4 hours? 5 hours?
They're a good drive, but
Can I
very
try,
pretty part
can I
of
try
Idaho.
another name?
no, we're
No,
not
it's
trying
fine.
more names. And let's see, Lizzie G, the 11 Acres. I heard a podcast about you starting homesteading with Homesteady. Yeah. And thank you for serving this country with your detective position. What a great family. Thank you, Lizzie. Yes, so Ost from Homesteady, he has the Homesteady
Awesome.
podcast and the Homesteady YouTube channel. He interviewed me, it had to have been last September or October. It was before we harvested our lambs, and that was October. Or was that November? I don't remember which. It was either late September or early October. Austin interviewed me for his podcast, and we got to talking about podcasting in general, and he gave me a lot of encouragement to start my own, and I really liked the idea of potentially doing it. I like the potential for being able to get into a lot of deeper subjects, and you know, in a video we have generally 10 to 15 minutes to really get content across before the video starts getting too long, and some of the subjects that we cover don't really lend themselves to that kind of constraint. So I think a podcast is a really good way to expand on things. And afterward, I started spending a lot of time listening to the Homesteady podcast, and wow, that podcast is one of the best produced podcasts I've ever heard.
Mm-hmm.
The content's amazing. The work that goes into it's fantastic. And I was listening to it, and I was like, please, I'm trying to explain this. After listening to it for so much, I thought, wow, why should I even podcast? I mean, everyone should just listen to Homesteady. What can I add to this conversation? Because it's that good of a podcast. And
my favorite part of it is the
that's the intro music, I think he's trying to tell you. Anyway, so subsequent conversations with Austin, and then also just kicking around the idea further, I got to thinking that I don't need to do what he's doing. I don't need to try and put out content like he's putting out. I just need to make it our own thing, make it basically a continuation of what we're doing on our YouTube channel, make it supplementary, and then do some additional stuff with it as well. So I've actually have 2 recorded so far, and I'm gonna get a few more recorded, make sure it's something that I can reasonably do in a good amount of time. Right now, like the first one took forever, like way longer than a video to record. Because one, it's 30 minutes long, this first podcast, and most of my videos are 10 to 15 minutes long. And my videos I shoot in a certain way because I know how I'm going to be editing them later. So it's really easy for me to go back quickly and push them out. But just switching to an audio format and having a lot longer, going a lot longer,
I'm going to be his expert cancer.
Yes.
Yeah, little buddy said he wants to be on my expert council.
What are you going to talk about? Of what are you an expert?
Whatever question my father asks me about Jack Speedcoat.
About Jack Speedcoat. You can be the Lego expert council. How about that?
A Lego expert.
So if anyone has Lego questions, oh no, why are you shaking your head? No.
Because they're not weird.
How about a Harry Potter expert council member?
We can do that if we want.
There you go. Harry Potter expert council.
Sorry. So yes, the podcast, we're in the beginning phases of that. I got a couple recorded, and I hope to be able to release something in the next couple of weeks on that. I think that'll be interesting, and it's really just gonna depend on the feedback I get from you guys. If if it stinks, then I'll stop doing it.
Oh,
But
it's great.
if there's traction there, we'll just keep going with it and have fun. So.
The world needs more good podcasts.
Yes.
So, do you guys have any questions for us about what's going on in the homestead or anything in general? Brian says Little Buddy is a riot. Yes. We do have to get started on evening chores soon, so we're not going to go like super long on this at all, but we did want to chat with you guys a little bit if you have any questions or comments for us. Ellen, let us know when it's on iTunes. Absolutely. I'll be making a lot of noise on Facebook and the YouTube channel, as well as Oz from Homesteady, Al Lumna. Maybe he'll give us a shout out on his channel about the podcast, and we'll get some other folks to see if we can drum up some noise about it. Will we get another llama? Oh wait, let me get back to Marie first. So just a question for Little Buddy.
No one can replace Penny.
Luna Lovegood is a perfect friend, right?
Because Penny's at the dump.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so we don't have any plans to get another llama.
It's time for you to
Penny we had to bring her to the dump because our ground was frozen. We had 3 feet of snow above the frozen ground. She's 300 plus pounds and really big with a long neck, and there's just no way we could bury her,
And also,
given the circumstances.
Uh,
Please
Let's
let me
stop.
finish, okay?
Yeah, sorry.
Paul Wheaton, I want to know, how long is a piece of string?
Oh, which one? Which one, Ball? We have them all.
By the way, Little Buddy loves Paul Wheaton. He got to meet him when Paul and Jocelyn bought a lamb from us. So we met them a few months back and to deliver the lamb to them. And Little Buddy got to spend some time with Paul. And Paul is quite entertaining to little children. So Little Buddy had a great time.
thank you, Pat.
That's sweet.
I love you because of your rocket mosquito things.
Lizzie, I guess she needs to go. She needs to start driving, but she wants to know about getting a milk cow. We are probably not going to go back down that road this year. It's kind of good that it didn't work out for us last year in hindsight, because by the end of the leading up to harvest, I was getting pretty overwhelmed with all the stuff we had going on there. It wasn't to the point where like I was actually overwhelmed. I was just almost overwhelmed.
It was a little
Between all the other stuff we had going on and the stuff outside with the animals, running everything inside, and
then
doing
the
all other
blizzard that we got
projects.
a month early. That was a thing.
It's really good that I didn't actually go through that, but we are getting the steer. So we had a deposit on the milk cow.
I don't want to steal.
The milk cow came back as A1, A2, not A2, A2. And we wanted an A2, A2 beta casein protein for our milk. And the deposit we paid on, it's shaking the screen, buddy, be careful, okay? The deposit we made on the milk cow happened to be the same amount as the breeder was selling her Dexter steers for. So we just asked her if we could transfer it over, because we tried to find another milk cow that was A2, A2, and it just wasn't happening. So we just thought,
this milk cow that we can manage.
Yeah, one that was
not a massive milk cow.
One that was already
milk.
trained was critical. We didn't want one that we would have to train. We didn't want a heifer that was going to freshen that needed training. We just didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be learning how to have a dairy animal at the same time as trying to train a dairy animal. So so yeah, we passed on that. We got this. We bought this steer, and there was a lot of issues with trying to arrange transport to get the steer here. The breeder that we bought it from, she was in the middle of a partnership dissolving. She was partnered with another ranch, and they co-owned the Dexter herd, and they were splitting assets, and there's a lot of stuff going on there, and it just was a timing issue. For her being able to get it delivered. We don't have a trailer. Our friend Richard offered to help us, but then it was a matter of scheduling. Richard had a trailer, and it just didn't work out. The snow came and it was like, we're kind of done for the year, so we couldn't take on any new animals after the snow came. So we're going to be revisiting that in the spring because we still own the steer. We just don't have it here.
Which works out well. It's a great arrangement.
Paul Wheaton says, I like children, especially with a little salt and pepper.
Oh, with the salt and pepper.
This
That's
one is
funny.
juicy.
I have salt and pepper.
Paul Wheaton says, I like your video about Josiah and the Ponders Kickstarter. Zach is saying that Paul Wheaton is a stinker. The video Paul's referring to is our friends the Ponders, who visited us last summer. If you haven't seen the video, they're going on the farm and sustainability tour that Josiah Wallingford from Permanent Ethos has launched. He has launched a Kickstarter on it, and they're going to be traveling initially Georgia, Tennessee, or the Southeast, and they're going to start there and then hopefully get enough funding to where they can travel across the country doing educational DVDs, documentaries on sustainable ag-related farms. And we're really hopeful that they get funded on Kickstarter because they're just really wonderful people. We're great kids, and we'd love to see them start their journey into sustainable ag that way.
Guest number 2.
Yes.
This
Okay.
last year.
So yeah, if you guys haven't seen that video that I made, the last video that we put out just yesterday or the day before, you can check that out. It has the Kickstarter video in it and then links to the Kickstarter, so you can go over there. There's also a thread on Permies.com you can check out about it, and then well, just go to the Kickstarter, click on the link and watch their video. We were featured in the Kickstarter, so I'm a little biased, but I would be mentioning it anyway, regardless, because they're great folks and I hope to see them succeed. Gavin says, try milking. Let me make sure I haven't skipped over any comments. It goes by fast and I can't see it. Ellen's good at cooking grass-fed brisket. That's awesome. We have one in the freezer.
We have one on the counter that you can cook.
That's a pork shoulder roast.
Dinner.
Gavin wants to know, try milking sheep. I think so. Annabelle is half Frisian, and she comes from Milking Genetics. She is very bonded with us and very calm and gentle. She doesn't. She doesn't.
She's very sweet.
Yeah, she's not flighty. She's not running away when
she comes to the fence for love whenever she sees her.
Yeah, so I think she has the makings of a good milk sheep. So we're gonna try and see how that goes. And it'd be really good if she has a single, because
you're gonna learn how to make cheese with all the milk.
Yeah, hopefully, because you can freeze sheep milk, and it thaws out perfectly fine. So we can save it up over time. Having only one milking ewe is an insignificant quantity of milk that you put out each day, but we can freeze it, save it over time, and then eventually have a big batch. And it's not like cow milk where it gets kind of funky when you thaw it. It just kind of loses its texture, and the homogenation thing gets weird. So Gavin, yeah, we'll probably try that. Why did you want an A2 milk cow? Zach wants to know. Okay, so there's A1, A2, and A2 milk types, which is the beta casein protein in the milk. So that's the milk is lactose and fat, and the protein in it is, so lactose is the sugar, then there's milk fat, and then there's milk protein, which is casein. And historically, all milk has been A2. Human milk, goat milk, sheep milk, all the other milks, trying to keep it down, buddy, are A2, but there was some weird genetic mutation in cows somewhere along the way where they were once only A2, broke off, and then there's like this weird A1 strand that gets put in there. And it gets really technical within proteins. There's alpha proteins, beta proteins, and a whole list of them. But the beta casein protein with the A1, has been supposedly linked back in a lot of studies to a lot of dietary problems. A lot of people that think they're lactose intolerant are actually beta casein protein A1 intolerant. There's a lot of studies that suggest it's related to heart disease and diabetes and stroke and cancer and everything that is bad a whole list of bad stuff that kills you is related back to A1 milk. I don't know if, I don't know if, I haven't done any personal scientific studies on that, I guess is what I'm trying to say, and I don't know how true all that is, but I can say that we have had some dietary issues getting A1, what we've learned to be A1 milk. So we've had some digestive problems as a result of that. So I don't know that it causes heart disease and strokes and tumors and all that, but I feel confident in saying that you can have a digestive problem from A1, A2 milk. So if you have a cow that's A1, all of its milk is A1. If you have one that's A1, A2, it's half and half. And A2 is pure A2 milk. And supposedly all the great stuff you hear about raw milk, all the wonderful health benefits, that's from A2 milk. So that's just what we wanted to get. And it's also that with breeding. If you get a cow that is A1, A2, and it's bred to a bull that's A2, then it can have an A1, A2, it can have an A2 offspring, one of the two. It's like a flip of the coin each time. So it's better, like especially if you want to have a breeding program, which with a dairy cow, you obviously need to breed it in order to have milk. If you're just using the offspring for beef all the time, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But having a cow that's going to give you A2 offspring all the time, it would also be better.
Great questions.
Let's see. Are you planning on expanding the orchard and adding the fruit trees? Yeah, I was just actually looking at some perennial strawberries last night. I'm starting to look at some stuff that we want to do. We do want to plant some more trees. That is part of was that one of our official goals this year? I think it is. I think it is. I think it's on our goal list this year. We definitely need to increase our perennial food production. We've really focused heavy on livestock going into things, and the garden. We have a decent annual garden that feeds us a lot of lunches with summer squash throughout the summer, and tomatoes and that kind of thing. But we really do need to focus more on perennial fruit production. So that is something we'll be looking at this year, and that was. Start from Seed Homestead asked that. Thank you for that question. Zach says we should get Clydesdales. Don't really have the space for that here. those are big horses.
A lot of poop. We don't need that. I think that's. Well, is that all the questions?
Do blueberries and raspberries grow well there? Yes. Brenda Montaigne asked that. They are on her to-do list this year. Yes, blueberries, raspberries, this is apples, cherries. This is cherry growing country here too. Cherries would do really well. Of course, you don't want to grow cherries as part of your silvopasture system. My understanding is the cherry byproducts are toxic to the animals.
Huh. More for us.
So we can.
Arnold has 5 young heifers, and they meet him every day. That's great. That's great. Arnold, I've heard from a lot. Has been raising livestock for a long time and has been a professional slaughterman, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Arnold, but you have a lot of experience with harvest as well.
I wonder if Thomas ever joined.
I don't know. No? Thomas ever joined. He may be busy. Didn't get the memo. So, Brian Philbrook, he says, you don't need horses, just get a goat to pull you around. Brian has a video on his YouTube channel of his goat in a harness pulling his child on a sled. It's pretty awesome. Brenda, are you starting to have an idea how much carrying capacity your pastures might have this year? Would you feel like you needed to reduce the sheep number if you got into cows?
So, getting into cows.
Well, we're getting the steer.
We're getting the steer, but he's not very big.
But yeah, I don't want the steer.
It's a Dexter steer.
No, it's not changing anything.
I don't want a steer. I want a Dexter.
You like hamburgers?
The steer is a Dexter. So, technically our carrying capacity, we're well over carrying capacity, but this is on purpose because I'm using the animals to cycle nutrients through them to increase our soil quality, to build the organic matter in the soil, to hopefully get back pasture or to increase pasture going forward in the future. If you don't put any animals on landscape, or if you have less animals, few animals, it takes longer to build up if you're managing it with rotational grazing. If you're leaving them on continuous grazing, obviously that's not the way to go with pasture rehab. But I believe stocking a little bit heavier, rotational grazing daily. I was moving the sheep every day until the snow came at the beginning of November. And then our electric fencing and all that doesn't work well enough to keep sheep in. So we put them in corralling at that point, which they stay until the spring. But it's going to bring our pastures back faster as long as I stay on top of this, move them frequently, and I'm hay feeding, bringing in a lot of hay, because our land being so poor quality doesn't have the nutritional quality for the sheep. So by bringing in more sheep, I'm getting more urine, more manure, more, I'm getting that faster cycle going through. And yeah, so I think that's the way to go right now. Eventually, when we do increase our ability to naturally have more animals without bringing in as much hay, we would be cutting back on our density. But hopefully by then we'll be able to expand more of the land we're using. Right now we're in remediation for a couple acres of our property. We have 5 that we don't even go to yet, and then there's a few that are in remediation where I'm mechanically cutting down all the bracken fern. It's so dense there. There's so much of it, I can't even put my animals on it, a fear of the toxicity from them. So hopefully in the next 3 years, we'll be able to start expanding out there and do a similar program there while we're reducing our head count to a more appropriate, sustainable level on what we're grazing right now. So I hope that kind of covers that.
Yeah, those are great questions.
Sorry, the screen keeps shaking.
Really great questions from everyone. So we're looking forward to the snow melting within the next couple months so that we can get a look at the pasture. Saw a little bit of our driveway this week. That was exciting. So great questions. We hope you guys will save up some and we can do another live event within the next couple months.
And we hope you guys have a good evening.
We hope Thomas G joins next time.
Well, we'll have to shoot him a message. So on our Patreon program, I set it up to where if you contribute, I think at the $3 level, we would do a monthly private live stream for the contributors.
Great.
And I've tried to arrange that a couple times, but I only get generally like 1 or 2 people responding back that they want to do it. So so if you do check out our Patreon page, that is one of the options on there, but we still haven't done one because there's just not enough interest right now.
So join Patreon.
Yes. Yeah,
win cool stuff. Yeah. Thank you all so much. This has been so much fun. And hopefully maybe Thomas will be so thrilled with his prize that he'll make a little video and post it. Maybe?
I guess.
Setting high expectations, Thomas.
All right, guys. Well, I guess we got to go do evening chores and then get that pork shoulder roast in the oven. Thank you guys all for joining us. I appreciate it. And
good evening, everybody.
Yes, good evening.
Thanks.
All right. Good night.
Good night.